Hello, thank you very much. We're very happy to be here at Pride House today with Jean Biche, one of the amazing artists of Fantasma Circus. We're very excited to be here with you today. Could you give us a quick introduction about yourself, please?
Yes, so I'm Jean Biche and I'm a French multidisciplinary artist. I think I'm passionate about the craftsmanship of the nightlife, so that includes dance and performativity, but other disciplines in terms of visual arts.
Amazing, okay. What does it mean to you to be here with us today at Pride House?
That means waking up at 1 p.m., which is my morning. I'm a night bird, but I got to do new things just like Paris for the Olympics. So,
Yes, got to see some sunlight today.
well, as you can see, I haven't seen it in a long time. I thought I was going to melt, but I can live through it.
Well done, I'm proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for coming. We had an amazing show with Fantasma last night, which really set fire to Les Quais de Paris. What's really exciting about the Olympics this year is that everything is very open, so everyone can actually see what's happening. So we had a lot of beautiful people watching the show. How was that for you yesterday, performing here?
We got to watch them as well, because we are in a theater usually, and then to do that show in public space and also with people who had no idea who we are, that was super interesting. We were observing each other,
Yes.
like that can happen, that can be a marriage somehow. But a lot of curious, I can remember that on the quay there were tourists like,
Yeah. And Elana Starr kept saying, okay, hang on, there are children, but you had to continue with the show, right?
yes, but then it's the magic of what we are doing. We think it's only for us, for a small group, but then it can be open to anyone. And we made it children friendly. Honestly, we covered ourselves.
Yep, t-shirts were there.
Yeah,
It's true.
I don't
It's
know
true.
if that shows, but that was actually our turtleneck version of the show.
It was, no, it was beautiful. How did the opening ceremony feel for you? How was that for you?
So I was home, thinking I would actually do like personal things around the house and watch the ceremony quickly.
Yeah.
And then I became obsessed and I really wanted to know what was going on. Until I realized it was actually for me. I was definitely not sure about that.
Yeah.
And then hour after hour, I got really involved and invested, and I ended up feeling so relieved that it was not something I was distanced from. It was for me, so I felt great.
It really spoke to us.
That-
Yeah.
I did not expect that for a minute.
Yeah.
I can still remember previous Olympic ceremonies where I could probably see extracts on YouTube or any type of media and feeling like, oh, that's funny, that can be about me, but like 10% of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And now people are actually re-uploading archives of ceremonies with queers and drags, and you'd be like, oh, we were just 1%, and now we were more. We were
Almost the
probably
entire thing.
50%.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think 50. I don't know.
I mean, I think it was one of the most colourful, most pride-friendly ceremonies in the world, definitely. I felt very, very spoken to as well, so that's
How did you
excellent.
feel yourself?
I loved it. I think being part of Pride House as well, I'm very proud to be here, of course, but it was excellent. And the fact that yesterday during the show as well, during Fantasma, it was completely full, and the audience was so interactive. Even the ones, as you say, like the tourists who were completely shocked. I was obviously filming like in every direction, and I noticed that after they got over the initial shock, they were so into it.
And they were happy.
cheering you on. They were so excited, you know, and they didn't want it to end. They were the ones who were shouting encore, encore, the most. It was beautiful. It was
We
really nice.
actually had people peeping through the backstage. So tourists were actually looking at us getting ready for a quick change, which is usually our very private and safe space. And this is how they connected as humans and not just as freaks. They were like, well, they actually have to work it out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're doing it well.
Yeah.
And we're like,
No, for sure, for sure. I think there's something also in Fantasma, those who know you and those who will get to know you, look up to you guys as idols. And you mentioned to me earlier that you've been wearing, wigs and been performing for 20 years. You're an idol, I think, to a lot of people, but could you maybe name some of your idols?
that's a good question, because as time goes by, I think you do your job for different reasons. I definitely do drag today for like other reasons than the reason why I started. I think at the time there was no drag race. Drag was definitely ostracizing you within the community. I knew I would be less competitive in the dating pool because of drag. maybe the first 4 years of my career, I would hide anything drag related if I had a date in my house. And then the show happened, and then it became almost mainstream. And within the gay community, LGBT world, people started to feel like, oh, like you're not just a weird icon. And now we became something very common, almost too common somehow. And I'm like, there are almost too many now. I don't feel as special as I used to. My experience does the job for my authenticity now.
Yeah.
And I don't know for the icons, the ones that I do love the most or make me want to do it, but probably the ones I would see in the media. And they used to be straight people doing drag. Because back in the day, to be very public, you could do drag, it was funny, it was entertaining, but you had to be a good father, so it could excuse you from the perversion, I'd say. And now, well, we do drag and we're queer people.
Yeah.
And this is when people are getting very angry at us because, like, how dare you? Like, well,
I mean, you know.
are we that close now? Come on.
I have another question for you, kind of linked to that as well. So, when you're on stage, it's kind of like performing in some way. It's performing as an athlete during the Olympics within this context, but also performing on stage. How do you feel within the context of the Olympics, having done a Special Olympics number with Fantasma?
I'm probably one of the least athletic artists in the house. I think my most sportive asset is my brain.
Good.
But,
it's a muscle. Good.
Yeah, but I can enter a chorus line and get on the level of the whole thing. I grew up studying arts, and then I did catch up with sport later in life. I only started dancing seriously at 30 years old. Okay. Before that, I would perform as a very probably intellectual way, not having any idea of what my body was doing. Because as a child, I think I took sport as a very problematic thing. I've been thrown into sport as a child to make a man out of me. So it gave me an idea that was very toxic. As I entered the cabaret world and met other queer athletes doing cabaret, I realized there was a way to do sport in a very queer, safe space. So that's how I got into it. Otherwise, I would reject it so hard. Yeah. So now I found a way to combine those two worlds of like stage performance and sport. But I started very late in my life, and today I still am very driven to make artistic performances. I see my colleagues doing amazing athletic things with their bodies, and I'm like, this is their main asset. Why should I try to be on that? We are all cast in Fantasma for our own unicity. Absolutely. And for me, it's my artistic vibe and the poetry that I do with visuals. So I'm happy to, step it up physically, but I know that no, I will never replace an aerial artist like Julie Demont or Leurs or Mimi. When I see them doing splits, or even their warm-up, I'm like, I could not even start.
I can imagine it. I can make jokes about it. I'll make a routine around it, but I'm going to let you do that.
Exactly. I think I've tried to do their warm-up. It was my cardio, and I couldn't do the show. I know I'm good now. I'm okay, and I'm very happy with the way we are all together in a sport room doing activities. But it's a way of knowing who you are and what you're wanting out of it for your world. Yeah. I mean, for your artistic little world.
That leads me on to my next question. Could you give us some tips for younger artists who are trying to find themselves? Any tips and recommendations you could give?
It's a very broad question because the queer world and the drag world has been so diverse now. You can actually do anything, but I would probably say just look around you first and see what is necessary. Because if you put too much pressure on your own shoulders, you ask too much of the surroundings. Yeah. If you are in a very underground space and a very new space, don't be too difficult. And if you are in a big thing, just don't be too relaxed about it too. Just checking your surroundings and your colleagues. I think what I would ask a younger generation keep in mind every day is the collective.
Yeah.
It's the thing I've learned the most, that
Okay.
if the collective is happy, you as an individual are going to be happy as well.
That's nice.
So-
I like that.
I hope it
It's
does
very philosophical.
diffuse.
That's very good.
Well, we discovered that every day on the show, whenever somebody is fragile or empowered, you'd be like, oh, if you're very happy, share it.
Yeah.
And if you are very unhappy, just keep it.
Just keep it to yourself and maybe change it into another energy.
Don't spread it too much, but
Yeah.
wait for us to cheer you up and be with you,
Yeah.
and that's how we can make a good show together.
That's nice.
And
I think
even
that'll help a lot of young people to not feel so alone as well. To
Yeah,
really
because
find some partners.
you're willing to go on stage for your own purpose, the things you need to express yourself, but then realize it's also a job, it's a world. And sometimes when you're very self-driven about the message you want to convey to release of a trauma or just be happy, just like, realize that somebody's going to wipe the floor after you, somebody's going to pick up your
Literally,
clothes, somebody's
literally.
picking you a drink at the bar. Just
Yes.
think of them, because they're also happy for you, and that's already a way to be empowered.
Yeah.
And warm up and stretch. That's the
Yes,
thing
and
I
that's really important here as well. One last question. Thank you very much, because of course we have many artists to speak to today. Could you tell us about a time where you were proud of yourself and why?
Today, yesterday, this year.
Anytime.
Anytime?
The moment you really said to yourself, là c'est bien.
I think the first time I did one of my solo in Fantasma, definitely not the most physical, as I previously said, and people were in silence, and you could feel everybody were looking at the show like this, holding their breaths. And so I'm doing my routine thinking, this is so special. We never had that energy in the room. And so I keep going. They're all keeping their breaths. And then I'm really fragile. I'm like, but very happy with what I do, because it's almost like the l'antithèse of the show.
Yes.
So I'm looking at everybody like, how is it going? And then they all decide to tell me that they loved it. And it was a wave that made me realize, I'm good. And I did it. I had a great time. I was like,
That's excellent. Sometimes going in the complete opposite direction to something can also be very exciting.
that
That's
is
beautiful.
always my role.
Yeah, that's good.
actually. And I think it was also the moment where I realized that the people who asked me to do Fantasma just did the right decision, and I did myself proud and them proud. I'm like, everyone's happy. But the show is all about empowerment and happiness and love, and then I come with a slightly different vibe of insecurity and just fragileness and sensibility, and also a sense of very artistic failure somehow, to be like, the varnish can crack. And I like it, because I'm not always into empowerment. I like to be the sidekick of
It's empowering in its own way, because I think maybe it's relatable to many artists.
there are days
and
when you
young
are
people,
up,
so,
days when you are down, and
Exactly.
after everyone being all like, I'm free, I'm here to be like, and sometimes you're not.
Sometimes you're not.
That it's okay.
Yes.
And it's just a good cry at the movie, and every night I get that, but the first time it happened, I realized that was where my power lined. So I'm like, it has its space in a show like this, where
Amazing.
people are so athletic and are expressing it through their bodies, and I can express it other ways and still I'm celebrated.
Yeah.
I'm like, merci.
Super cool. I have one last question for you. I'd love to know, do you see any parallels between athletes and artists?
I see a parallel that we do not probably get it at first, but then we end up having one. Because I think with athletes, you just, you get over yourself on a physical level. It's a way of surpassing your capacities.
Absolutely.
But me, I'm more visual, and I was in a festival in May, and I did a body paint as a skeleton. So 6 hours of body paint by myself. So I'm locked in a special room not to stain the others. And there's this amazing athlete which did an amazing physical show, and he comes to me and go like, I'm so admirative of your job. To which I replied, no, this is my way of being over my body and surpassing my capacities, but it's aesthetic. You have the body, and if we want to combine both, we'd be AI, we'd be robots. So I love to spend 6 hours to paint myself for 3 minutes. That's my way of being resilient, of being patient, and being just at the best of my skills. But you have the body issues, like you have to keep your body ready since a very young age. Most of the people we work with, they've been sportive since children.
Yes.
And I'm like, all I can do is art. And it's something about a different skill, but we are, in the end, we're together on the same stage.
Yes,
that
exactly.
means something.
Yeah.
But we always look at the grass, which is greener on the other side, be like, oh, I wish I could, I wish I could. And with experience, you get to tell, like, let's relax. We know where we are here.
Yes. We know our place. We know what we're good at.
That's fine.
That's exciting.
And I'll paint you someday,
Yes.
and then you'll teach me how to stretch a bit more.
But that's the thing. I mean, if we were everything, we'd be AI, as you said. It doesn't exist.
You'd lose your soul, or you'd have a team and you would not be proud of everything you've achieved.
Exactly.
Which is the thing I love the most about what we do on the stage, is that we are responsible for every little thing we created. Otherwise, we are becoming enterprises.
Yes.
And I think relating everything to yourself and your body feels better. You'd be like, oh, I can master everything I created.
And that's the
by
thing
my...
as well. Each and every one of you is the master of your particular moment in the show, and that's what's really exciting. You know, every single time I've seen every single one of the shows as well. Every single time I come, I see you guys actually going past your expertise each time. You're surpassing the show before.
Yeah.
You know, I saw Cabaret Kids in May, and then I saw the very first one, and I came back this time, and I'm like, wow, this is just getting better and better.
Yeah.
It's like the opening ceremony of the Olympics. It just keeps getting better and better. From like Lady Gaga, and it just keeps going up, 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 and you're like, okay, there's Celine Dion and there's a metal horse. What the hell? It's insane. And with you, it's the same. I mean, that's my personal opinion, and I think a lot of people should go and see Fantasma, get your tickets. But it's just getting better and better. It's just so exciting, and I think throughout the show as well, it gets better and better.
Hopefully.
Really cool.
We'll see about it tonight, but I'll do my best.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Merci
Thank
encore.
you.